Hi, in this video we're going to cover variables with C++, and we're using a RAD tool, a GUI tool to build out our application. So the command line is in a different series. So we're using this. We're going to click New and then FireMonkey. FireMonkey allows us to develop for Windows and Mac all in one place. And we're going to grab a label. Label is how we show the text from our program. And let's grab a button. And what we'll do is we're going to put code snippets on our website, thebellatutorials.com. And so if you don't want to watch through the whole video, you can just copy and paste the code if you need some aspect, and we'll try to do that for all the videos. So now we have a button, and the first thing to note is that if you ever see a button, when you double click on it or click on it, we're going to double click on it here in a second, you expect something to happen. So it's an action. So when we double click on it, the program takes us to the place where we write the action, what we want the computer to do, the action we want the computer to take when you click on that button, and that's called a function. And we're going to go into functions later, but I just want to give you that quick overview. Now, what we're going to do is talk about variables. So what are variables? They're a placeholder. And when you come home, if you have a place for your keys, you put your keys in the placeholder, right? You may have a coat closet and you put your coat in the coat closet. If you have a garage, you put your car in the garage. So all of these are placeholders. And the important thing to note is that they're different sizes. The garage is a lot bigger than my coat closet, right? And so variables are no different. So I'm going to type in this, and I'm going to make two slashes here for comment. Comment means we're putting in notes, and the computer won't. It'll just ignore it. So this is an integer. And when we do this, we're telling the computer to create a space, create a coat closet, create a place for my keys. And the important thing to note is that I would never put my car in the coat closet, right? Because it would be disastrous. It's too big. And I wouldn't put my keys in the garage and leave my car outside, because I'm wasting all of that space for my keys. They don't need that much space. And that's what we're doing here. When we say integer, what we're saying is create a space for a number without a decimal. So it can be 1, 2, 3, -1, it can be negative numbers as well, and so on and so forth. So now that we've created a space for our number, let's go ahead and give it a number. So I can say a equals 5. And we'll run this like we did with the hello world. We want this to show up in the text area of the label. So let's type label dash greater than text, because we want the text field to show this, and we're just going to tell it to show A. Let's see what A is. We have to save it, desktop. Let's give it a folder, save it, variables. I spelled that right. Okay, and here comes our program. So when we click on the button, it executes that function and returns our number. So let's say we needed to store 5.7, and let's run that. You can see it lost the decimal place, and that's because there's not enough space for it. So again, this is kind of like me putting the car in the coat closet. When I open the coat closet, I'm just seeing headlights and hood, and probably a lot of other garbage around because we broke something. So same thing in the computer world as well. So to store 5.7, I need a bigger space, and we're going to call this a double. Let's call it B. So a couple things to note here. In this line, we created the space. In this line, we put something in the space. We can collapse that to one line. And let's show what this looks like. Let's run this. Now this is what we wanted. So we have enough space for our variables, which is a good thing. Again, we don't want too big of a space. We don't want too small of a space. We need it to be pretty accurate there. So now that we have this, let me create another one. We can do some stuff. So let's say B plus C. Run this. Of course, what are we going to get? There we go. We can do subtraction with that. we can do multiplication with this caret symbol, and this slash is division. So when we run this, we're doing our simple math. Okay, so now that we've got some characters up, or some numbers up there, let's start talking about text. And there are basically two types of variables. There are more, especially with this program, but we're going to start with two to store text. And so the first one is a character. Let's assign it real quick. Let's define the space and then put something in there. Okay, let's make this T. Let's see what happens. So we have it. All right. So now, what if I wanted to type in something else? Let's make a word. Help. When I run it. So what happened was we tried to put the car in the coat closet, and we're just getting the back part of the car here. It gave us the last character. And so another way to do this, since we're storing one character here, is actually with a string. And this is a string of characters. And let's make this U. And since we're using this GUI environment, it's doing some coding for us in the background. If you want just kind of the pure C++, we'll cover that in another series, mainly one with the command line one. So let's click on our button, and there we go. We have hello there. So we've created some quick variables. There are lots of different types out there. There's some good reference sites with how much space, what size of numbers or text you can put in there. And like I said, we'll take some code snippets, break this out of the video so you don't have to watch the whole video if you just want to copy and paste code. So take care, and in the next video we're going to continue with our program. We're going to start actually building it out, and we'll see you then.